glorious King Trump met the King of England, folks. They welcomed King Charles III with open arms, talked about how, oh, we're best friends. Oh, my mother was attracted to you, despite the fact that we're near the same age bracket, which is very creepy. It's just crazy. It's crazy. Apparently, there's a special relationship between the US and the UK. That's not true. It's not true at all. The only special relationship that exists is between the US and Israel.
There's an Epstein disconnection. That's what it really is.
Exactly. Remember
Yeah.
Dr. Trump, ladies and gentlemen? I bookmarked this and it's fucking disappeared again. That's very annoying. But here's some Dr. Trump made by AI. Do you remember when Trump claimed he was a doctor? It's on a completely unrelated note because this happened about a week ago, maybe longer.
God.
But yeah, Trump claimed to be a doctor.
Dude, that was like
Instead
the
of
worst
Jesus.
excuse.
Yeah. No, I'm not Jesus Christ. I'm a doctor. Well, Jesus was also a doctor. So it doesn't really work.
They're giving testimonials. Oh
AI
my God.
Yeah, but this AI looks great. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, it's pretty good actually. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to play it without. I got to play it with sound.
Are you suffering from a serious life-threatening illness? Has your doctor told you you're probably going to die? My name is Dr. Donald Trump, and I have helped millions of patients with conditions just like yours. Cancer, heart disease, ALS, you name it. Conditions your doctor said were untreatable. I've seen them all, and I fixed them all. I use an advanced technique that the cheating medical establishment don't want you to know about. The results are, frankly, incredible. Nobody gets results like this. They're the greatest results.
They gave me 6 weeks to live, but then I called the hotline and was healed entirely through the phone.
I was clinically brain dead, and my wife was about to pull the plug when the doctor saved my life.
I'm sorry. Of course, you're clinically brain dead. You support Donald Trump in 2026. Oh, I hear a kid. Hello.
No, you didn't. You want to say hi to everyone?
Hi.
Hello. Thank you for your service, young man.
No,
Hey, tell him to come back. I have something to say to him.
Maddie.
You can't hear because it's all right here.
Oh, okay. But kiddo, thank you for your service and keep pointing out that kids are brown.
He doesn't know it yet, but he's gonna change the world.
He is. He is. But yeah, Dr. Trump, ladies and gentlemen, somehow that was a thing. But another thing is, apparently, the U.S. welcomed the British King on the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. Goodness me.
They had
What do you guys
Continental
think of
Army
that?
guys.
Let's start off with Hugo the German.
Well, king in name only. That's the headline. And not for the first time. I don't think that Trump takes Charles in any way serious. Or any one of the global players for that matter. It's basically a mascot at this point. So all of that was just a stupid show.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you never know. You never know because whether you like to admit it or not, the United States would not exist in its current capacity without its progenitor, even if they manifested through conflict. It's very weird.
But
Mm-hmm.
Charles is irrelevant. Completely irrelevant. He is like the tiny red dog that a Paris Hilton would carry.
Oh, damn.
So
And
Yeah.
if the King of England's irrelevant, what does that make all of us?
Better.
Oh, dear. Oh, but I wanted to provide an actual source for this rather than just Dr. Trump for a laugh. But all I had to type in was Trump Charles, and this is courtesy of Rapid Response 47, which is an official account that actively supports the second Trump administration. Quote, at POTUS, quote, honoring the British King might seem an ironic beginning to our celebration. Yeah, it is pretty ironic.
Yeah.
Of 250 years of American independence, but in fact, no tribute could be more appropriate. Long before Americans had a nation or a constitution, we first had a culture, a character, and a creed. That's surprising for him to say. Before we ever proclaimed our independence, Americans carried within us the rarest of gifts, moral courage, and it came from a small but mighty kingdom from across the sea. Now, what's very interesting about that statement, folks, is the specific wording. 2 words. Creed being one of them, because usually you don't bring that up in conversations like this, and the final sentence. It came from a small but mighty kingdom from across the sea. That wasn't said in the past tense, mind you. In fact, it wasn't given any tense at all, past, present, or future, which is also surprising in its statements, because let's face facts, guys. The United Kingdom is not in the best shape. In fact, it's in one of the worst shapes in the past 50 years. In fact, the last time Britain was in a period, going through a period as weak as this, was in the late 70s and early 80s. For completely different reasons, mind you. Back then it was economic, today it's cultural, but it's not in the best of conditions. But the United Kingdom is still in a position where if you leave it alone, it'll rot from within. But if you go after it in any capacity, well, that rot's gonna burn away pretty quickly, which is why this whole discourse I'm hearing between the British and Argentines again, it's gotten me thinking nothing would breathe life more into a dying union, a dying kingdom, than a rabid foreign enemy that wants a bit of our territory. Nothing. Nothing would do better than that, especially given how feckless this administration has been. But it does seem very interesting that this is happening, and the timing and the wording of this whole situation. Galaxy, what do you make of a direct descendant of Mad King George III coming to America?
Well, I know it's kind of like a tradition, though. It's been like that for pretty much every president, right? The king comes to visit, so at least once. But I don't know. I'm not really. I don't really care too much.
Well, of course you shouldn't care. You're an American.
Yeah.
You shouldn't care about monarchs, except for the one you elect.
No,
Wink, wink.
but it's yeah. He's technically not really, but yeah.
Oh, come on, guys. Right. Head of state. There's a difference between a head of state and head of government, okay? In a monarchy, a head of state is the king or the queen, and a head of government is a prime minister. That's why whenever you hear a country saying prime minister, they have either a head of state president or a monarch, right? Which means Israel has a president. Wouldn't it be funny, guys, if Israel had a head of government, Bibi, and the head of state is Jesus Christ? That'd be funny, wouldn't it?
Well, they're gonna find out eventually one day.
Yep.
I mean, I know Jason told us so before, but I still like the rabbi who was like one of their top rabbis. All the Jewish community loved him. They looked him up for everything, and then he wrote down the name of the Messiah, and it was like, open this when I die, and he passes away, and they open it up, and it says Jesus, and they just like just rip everything down about him.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's
Mhm.
crazy because we're entering a period of continual instability. I think more and more people are going to crave stability in this day and age. And the only way you can have stability is to have order. And that means strong authority, strong institutions, and rules being properly enforced. And the best way to enforce old rules is to solidify old alliances, which would go a long way to explain why a British monarch is being welcomed with open arms by an American president.
Mhm.
Ronnie, what do you make of all this?
Well, I can actually, involving King or Prince, whatever Charles, when he was a younger man, I can make this about the space shuttle involving Prince Charles. So this is the atmospheric test article, Space Shuttle Enterprise here. Prince Charles is just standing there on the sidelines, and the shuttle, you can notice a little bit of a bumpy landing there because of pilot-induced oscillation where the computers on the shuttle basically disagree on how to move the control surfaces, so it's bouncing side to side. So this very day, if that shuttle decided to maybe like flip over to the right, Prince Charles might not be here this week for that visit.
Oh, damn. It is a bumpy landing, folks. Even the concept of a space shuttle really hit me for six when I saw it for the first time. You're essentially sending a rocket plane into space. In fact, why didn't the Americans call the space shuttle the rocket plane? Rocket
question.
Man. Do 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 do. Okay,
I'm not going to get
folks.
into the deeper implications of the space shuttle program and, whether it was a good idea or not or budgetarily efficient. I just wanted to share that because I love finding excuses to shoehorn space into some other shit.
That's all right. It's all right. It's understandable too, because humans should be going into space, right? They shouldn't be sharing their houses with Indians who shit all over the toilet. Isn't that right, Roadkill?
That's exactly right. Thank you for segueing into my personal life.
And what do you make of the British king being welcomed with open arms by the American president?
Well, I think it's not so much by the American president because I think it's proper to keep relations positive as you can, even if it's just on fake camera. But about how the whole demon rats are all, no kings, no kings. But as soon as an actual king walks in, they're like, oh my God.